If you've ever wanted to see a step-by-step tutorial of how to create a business page on Facebook, this is the one that you're going to want to watch. I've updated this for the year 2020, and I'm including my 7-step checklist that will make sure that the page is not only set up correctly, it's optimized to generate leads, and it's going to make a killer impression on people. Take a look. Hey everyone, Kevin Smullin with 2Q Lead Generation Strategies. If you are brand new to the channel, welcome. We are so glad you're here. What we're all about is helping real estate agents just like you generate more leads, set more appointments, and convert more of that into transactions. So if you'd like more strategies, more tips about how to grow your business using social media, this is the place to be. Please consider subscribing, and we'd love to have you here as part of our community where you're going to get tons of tips and strategies of how we do this. In fact, on that note, make sure you look down in the description down below. I'm going to put a link to our masterclass, which is a 2-hour class on our business plan and the strategy where our clients are generating leads, setting appointments, and converting them, turning those into transactions. So if you want to see the full strategy of how we do that, make sure you go check out that free 2-hour masterclass. You're going to be totally impressed. Now, with that, like I said, today's video, what we're going to talk about is I'm going to give you a step-by-step tutorial of how to create a business page on Facebook. So I'm updating this for the year 2020 just to make sure that everything is current, up-to-date, and completely optimized. Now, there's a 7-step process that I'm going to walk you through that will just help you get the best results possible. So also, just as a note, down below in the comments, I'm going to leave a comment that has timestamps of the 7 steps so that you can skip to a specific part of the video if there's a specific part that you want to focus on. So the 7 steps that I'm going to focus on with you, let me pull this over. These are the 7 steps that we're going to focus on. So creating the page, the profile image, the cover photo, creating a call to action button, your description, a pinned post, and your first followers. This is not only going to create the page, but it's going to optimize it so that when people come, they're going to like what they see. There's nothing worse than going to a business page and seeing things that create red flags where you're not sure if they're real, if it's a scam, if you even want to do business with them. A lot of what I'm going to cover today is going to help you completely eliminate those so that you make a fantastic first impression on your prospects and the people that you're marketing to. And then I'll show you some tips and tricks of how to optimize your page so that you're generating more leads and getting better results. So that's what we're going to cover today. So now that I've shown you this optimization checklist, let's just go ahead and go through it. So our first step as we're doing this is we want to make sure that we create the page. So there's a couple ways of doing this. The simplest one is just coming right up here and clicking on this create button. Now, what happens is sometimes Facebook changes the user interface. Things look a little different. It's in a different spot. But this is what you're looking for, is this create button, even if Facebook changes and it looks different than what you're currently seeing. You can do that, or the other way that you can do it, you can just come up here to the search bar and type in create business page or when you type in create business page, so there's this shortcut right here where you can create a page. So there's several different ways of doing it, but my recommendation is just click on the create button and go to page. Now, it's going to ask you if you're a community or public figure or if you're a business or a brand. In most cases, you'll probably be selecting this one, a business or a brand. So we're going to click on Get Started. Facebook's going to ask you for your page name. Now, most people are going to search for you on Facebook by one of 2 ways. Either number one, they're going to search for you based on your name. So they'll search for you by your name. Or number 2, they're going to search for you by your profession. So real estate agent, realtor, something like that. So my recommendation for creating a business page is to include both of those. That way, no matter which way they go, they're going to be able to find you. So if it were me, I would type out Kevin Smullin, I live in Utah, so you might want to even specify this. You might even say like Utah real estate agent or something like that. Utah realtor. Again, you can change it up however you want to change it up that makes sense for you. But my recommendation is your name and your profession. That way, no matter which way they're searching for you, they'll be able to find you. Now, they're probably not going to search for you based on your brokerage name, and it's not a requirement to have your brokerage name here. It does need to be somewhere on the page for compliance, and I'll show you how we do that. And then for the category, we're just going to type out real estate agent pops up. My recommendation for the brokerage is to put the street address for the brokerage. And obviously I'm just making something up. Perfect. And then your phone number. Great. So you can decide whether you want the address to show or not. That's totally up to you. And it's just one of those settings that, again, it's kind of up to you. Take your pick. Once you've got that filled out, now Facebook starts creating the page, and then it's going to start asking you to add the elements. So we are done with step number one, which is creating the page. The second thing is Facebook's going to ask you for your profile picture. And the profile picture is this square one that's going to show on the page. It's also what's going to show as you like and comment and share and interact with people. And so my recommendation for the profile picture is that it should be you, because in my opinion, you're the brand. You're the one that people want to connect with. You're the one that they're doing business with. Again, they're not doing business with the brokerage. They're doing business with you because of that relationship. In, again, 99 cases out of 100. So my recommendation is the profile picture should be you. So I've already got a profile image that I saved just in the interest of time. We'll go ahead and use that one. And then the third step is the cover photo, which is this long rectangular one. Now, the long rectangular, the strategy that I like to use with the cover photo is to use it to draw action to the call to action button. Now, I have already created a cover photo that is super impressive, that people are going to love. And in fact, if you want a tutorial of how I did the one that you're going to see, I'll put a link to that tutorial right here on the screen. You can go watch that tutorial and see the step-by-step of how to create the cover photo that I'm going to use. But again, in the interest of time for this video, I'm just going to upload the finished product. There it is. And so now I've created the page. I've uploaded the Facebook, the profile picture, and the cover photo. It asks you if you want to have the free appointment booking tool to your page. It's something you can add later, so just go ahead and say not now. You can add it later on if you want. So now I've got my page name, I've got my profile picture, and I've got my cover photo. Now, the strategy that I like to do with the cover photo is using the cover photo to draw attention to this call to action button. Okay, the call to action button is something that you can customize and set up that will help you generate leads for your business. And this is something that you can do that's totally free. So that when people come here and they see, wow, this is pretty cool, search all available homes on my website by clicking below. So with this button right here, I can set up the button to go to a specific website. So to do that, it would be this option, learn more about your business. I want the button to say learn more rather than watch videos. So I'm going to select that option. And then it asks me what URL I want to send people to. Well, even though it's not, this is my business website, but I'll use it just because it's mine. So let's say that's the website I want to send people to. I can just hit finish. And so now that button is customized. And if I say test button, then it sends people directly to my website, right? So you could use this for, as you see here, search for available homes. You could change it to the text to say, for free market analysis, click here. Or, to watch this video, click here, whatever, right? You could do any of those things. and then you would just redirect this to whatever web page you want to direct them to. You can also set up this button to generate an incoming phone call so that when people click on it, it will fill in your phone number, especially helpful for mobile. You can also set it up to where if they click on this, it sends you a direct message on Facebook. There's a few different options, but those are probably the three that will be the most, that will make the most sense for you. So at this point, we have created the page, uploaded the profile picture, uploaded the cover photo, and we've set up the call to action button, right? So we've got 4 of our 7 steps done already. Now, the cover photo, one last note about that. This is where I recommend putting your brokerage logo for compliance purposes. Because if you ever decide to change brokerages and you go somewhere else, if you put your brokerage in the page title, it's difficult to change that. Facebook limits how often you do it and how many times. So I don't recommend putting your brokerage name in here for that reason. It's so much easier just to put the logo here, then you're fulfilling that compliance requirement. And again, should that ever change, it's really easy just to take that logo out and add in a new one. So it's so much easier to do that and just upload a new cover photo than to try and change the whole page, and it just gets a little messy. So that would be my recommendation for that. Step number 5 in optimization is getting the description set up. So you'll notice when I click here, this menu down the side, one of them says About. Now, I would suspect for most of you, if I go to the About section of your page, there's probably a lot of you down here that have nothing, right? And so my recommendation is you absolutely want to change that, because think about it. If somebody came to your page and they're doing a little research, a little due diligence just to learn more about you, if they come here to see this and there's nothing there, that's one of those red flags that we talked about. It just doesn't make a great impression. So we absolutely want to change that. And then it just says add 1 to 2 sentences. Now, my recommendation for what you put here is I recommend doing something that I call, it's basically a way to separate yourselves, right? I call it a market domination statement. The market domination statement is how you separate yourself from the rest of the real estate agents out there. See, most agents introduce themselves and they'll say, I'm a realtor, I'm a real estate agent, I work for XYZ brokerage, or I help people buy and sell homes. That's typically the way that they introduce themselves, as one of those 4. So we want to have something that just lets you instantly cut through all of that and separate yourself in a very powerful way. So it's a market domination statement, and it basically covers who it is that you work with, what their problem is, and how you help them solve that problem. So who you work with, what their problem is, and how you help them solve that problem. If you can effectively answer those things, that is the beginning of a very powerful impression. So as an example, let's say you do a lot of work with first-time buyers. Then you might have something like this. I work with first-time buyers who don't have the money for a down payment. I show them 3 ways to buy a home and stop wasting money on rent. You could just do something like that, right? But the nice thing about it is it makes just a very powerful impression when people know who it is you work with, what the problem is, and how you go about solving that problem. They just mentally start thinking of you different. So I do recommend coming here, making sure this data is filled out. So, any of the business details, your contact information, what's terrible is people coming here wanting to contact you and they can't figure out how to contact you. Again, that's a problem, right? So you want to make sure the About section, that this is filled out on your page. Again, in the interest of today's time, I'm not going to go through and fill out every single one of these, but you get the idea. You just want to make it easy for people to contact you if they have questions. The 6th part is doing a pinned post. Now, you'll notice on all real estate, or on all business pages, the way that it works is posts are done chronologically. So the most recent post will be at the top, the next most recent post, and so on down the page. What's different with a pinned post is the pinned post will show up first, regardless of when it was that you did it. And for whatever reason, page is kind of stalling out. So let's refresh the page and see if we can get that to unstick. Sometimes Facebook's a little quirky. Okay, great. So what we want to do is we want to set up a pinned post. And so again, with a pinned post, what happens is we put a pin on it, and that makes it stay at the top regardless of when you posted it. And so because that's the way that a pinned post works, the strategy that I like to use is using it as an introduction, so that when people come to your page, it's the first post they're going to see. So again, you might use your profile picture for something like this. Or if you have a video introduction, that's even more powerful, right? If you've shot a video, but if you haven't, that's okay. And then just again, in the interest of time, I'm just going to copy and paste some text just to make this go faster, since I've already written one of these. So you might have an introduction that's something like this. Now, the formula for this is paragraph 1. It's an introduction. Hey, welcome to Jane Doe Real Estate. Obviously, I would change that to my name. Have you ever seen the look on someone's face when they just found their perfect home? That's what I love to help my clients accomplish. I also love moonlit walks on the beach of the Great Salt Lake. The purpose of this sentence right there is I'm sharing something personal, right? This is social media. We want to connect with people. And one of the fastest ways that you can connect is to share something personal about you. So if you like the outdoors, you like to hike, you like sports, you like to travel, whatever it is, share something personal, because there are plenty of people out there that will identify with that. You'll be amazed at how much they'll be drawn into you just by sharing something personal, right? The second paragraph, it's you're at the right place if. So you're talking about who should like the page and why, right? You're at the right place if you want to see some of the best homes on the market and the best ways to buy a home in this market. The third paragraph is your market domination statement. What we just put in the about section also belongs here, right? I work with first-time home buyers, don't have the money for the down payment, blah, 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 blah. You've seen that. And then lastly, while you're here, recommend a few things. Number 1, make sure to like the page, right? Number 2, do you want to learn how to buy a home without a down payment? Go to this free report. So if you have like a buyer's guide, a seller's guide, a free market analysis, if there's anything that you offer for free in exchange for people's contact information, you want to make sure that you promote that, right? And here's the logical, simple place to do that. And then lastly, hey, leave a comment, introduce yourself. Would love to find out more about you and how we can serve you best. Thanks for being here. Welcome to the page. And then you're just giving them some resources. So maybe giving them a link to your website, any other social media channels that you have, anything that you're offering to promote your business, make sure they have access to those resources. But then this is basically the post that would be an introduction. So I'll go ahead and post that. And it's thinking about it. And it just has it updated. So I'm just going to hit refresh. And of course, because it's a live demo, it always takes a little bit longer. There we go. So there's the introduction that we created. And then the way that you pin it is you come up here to this little menu, pin to top of page. It's going to put a blue little thumbtack in the corner of that post. And even if I post other stuff, it's going to go below this. So the pinned post is always going to show first. That's what that little blue thumbtack means. Okay. So again, the strategy that I'd like to use with a pinned post is use this as an introduction, because it's going to show first. It's a powerful, powerful piece that just builds credibility. And again, very, very few of your competition, most agents are not going to do anything close to this. And so it just kind of blows them out of the water. So that's our 6th step, is using a pinned post as an introduction. Now, our 7th and final step of this, we've pretty much got everything done. But the only thing is, if you're starting from scratch, then you probably have 0 likes on your page. Now, I firmly believe in paid ads. If you watch any of my other videos, you'll see that I have tons of tutorials on how to run paid ads, how to generate leads, and why that's such a critical part of the Facebook strategy. So I'm a huge believer in Facebook ads, and that's what we help our clients do. And so to a large extent, because you're running ads, the number of followers you have on your page, frankly, isn't that important. But where it is important is it's a credibility thing, right? So if people came to your page and no one likes it, there's a red flag that goes off in their head. They're thinking they're new, or nobody likes it, or I don't know. I don't care what the thought is, frankly, just none of them are good. And so you want to make sure that you've got some people that like your page. So there's this section right here where you can invite people to like your page. You'll notice I can either go through and invite them one by one, or I can just say see all friends, and I can pick the ones that I want. I can select all. You can really do it however you want. But you need to have some people like your page just for credibility purposes. So hopefully you've got some friends or family that that like you enough that they would like your page. Maybe you've got some other agents in the office, some coworkers that would like your page. That's great too. If you're really hard up and you can't get anyone to like your page, send it to me. I'll give you a like. Not a big deal. Right? Just want to make sure that you've got some credibility for your marketing. So once you have invited some people to like your page and they have liked it, you are all set. You've got a fantastic business page that is ready to rock and is going to make a fantastic impression on people when they see it. So this is the process of setting up a Facebook business page for the year 2020. Again, I wanted to do an updated video just so you can see the latest format, the way things look, and how to set things up. And again, this is just bare bones covering the red flags, the things that would make people go, I don't know if I want to work with them, right? This really should help you eliminate the vast majority of those red flags. So hopefully you found this tutorial very helpful. If so, make sure you click the like button down below, and we appreciate that for that support. And it also tells us the kind of content you want to see in the future. Also, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, what the heck, right? Make sure you do. Please click that subscribe button. There'll also be a little bell. You can click that, and you'll be notified anytime we put out brand new content, because we put out content every single week. And then lastly, if you want some additional tips, some additional strategies, make sure you check out these videos right here. I'll put up those videos. You can take a look at that, and it'll just give you more tips and more strategies on growing your business. So with that, make it a great week. Keep crushing it with your real estate business. If you have questions, leave a comment below. We're happy to help. And if you ever want our help setting appointments, generating leads for your business, again, I'll put some resources down in the description below, and you can go check that out. Otherwise, make it a great week. Keep crushing it, and we'll talk to you soon.